Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. Do y'all want to go into your Akashic records? We're just going to go into the Akash today. Emily Harrison, who is the founder and director of the Akashic Academy, a modern day mystery school dedicated to sharing knowledge that is empowering humanity to find personal freedom through the Akashic records. Um, and more than that, y'all, she has been a profound facilitator towards me as I've been building in a new stage of my life. As things that have been presenting themselves as a new iteration, a new timeline that had presented itself to me for me to hop over into. Um, and the vision and the attunement
Mm.
that Emily provided to that was profound. Um, and so we're going to go into the Akash today. If y'all are ready, if you want to explore, and we'll get into live Q&A, maybe we'll go into your Akash as well if you want to raise your hand or type your question into the chat box. But Emily, it's amazing to have you back. Thank you for coming on today.
My BTO family.
That's
I'm
right.
happy to be here. I haven't been feeling great, but I have been so excited for this interview. So I've been saving up all my energy for y'all. And I can already feel my spirit lifting. I know that I'm going to get healing from just being here, being together in community and doing the work. And so thank you for the divine timing and alignment for me.
And I'm feeling uplifted also. It's like the volume is being turned up or the wattage. It feels
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Has the Akash shifted for you recently or your access to it? Or I don't know quite how to describe it, but what maybe is a little bit different than what you were used to or how you were accessing the Akash before or interpreting?
Wow, that's well, okay. Thank you for asking me that question.
Mhm.
I don't know what the answer personally is yet, but as soon as you said that, what I noticed came up in my mind is a new project that I've been working on is we're going to open the Akashic Records today.
Mm.
And I'm going to take you all through the 5 method to open the Akashic Records. But what the guides have been really bringing present in my field, John, is getting out there and operate like a small meditation that opens the Akashic Records for people. This 5 method that we're going to do to open the Akashic Records, use this sound, this meditation to open your Akashic Records so that it becomes accessible to more and more people. Because
Mm.
so far, I haven't released the process other than to my students who dive into training with me. And so, what you're like, what's different? What's different? I feel like there's just a call to bring this out into the masses in a stronger way so that it's accessible for people, right? It's time for everybody to start going into the field and taking self-responsibility for our growth and our choices, our shadow work for that matter. It's getting
Mm.
very dynamic, the work right now.
Getting dynamic. And y'all, we're going to get into that five meditation in just a little bit. And I want to invite y'all, if you're not in a place to get comfortable, to just really drop in within yourself and to allow your energy to widen, to expand, to be presence into that. Before we get into this with Emily, I want to invite you to find a place where you can do that or still yourself in wherever you are so that you're open to receive and to participate because we're going to open up as a group and individually as well. And the second you started talking about that, Emily, I felt you anchoring in and like this reverberation of your energy getting bigger
Mm,
as you're sharing this. So for me, what I've noticed is that there's even more presence into what you're doing and the power that emanates and how that actually impacts those that you're in relationship with at that moment, uh,
mm,
which in this case is us right now. So thank you for that. And I
beautiful.
do feel like an amplification of our wattage. I was going to say power, but of
Mm,
our wattage, and in particular, those that are really stepping forward as demonstrators of what's possible for other
yes.
people to receive and hold in a field that is very integrous, that's very cohesive, with the intention that we're holding for these type of calls, this unity consciousness, this dropping in, this expanding the field to serve not only ourselves but others simultaneously. Um,
Mhm.
so powerful. Thank you for that.
Yes, coming together in community and doing the work, it seems so simple, and sometimes, especially in this modern day age, it's very easy for us to isolate. It's easy to
Mm,
feel like we're connected because we're scrolling on social media. But we really, truly, when we come together in community, we create power. And when you think about the idea of co-creation, solid community foundation is what's going to create and facilitate a positive experience with co-creation, with collaboration. And if we look at the overarching themes of what we're experiencing here on the planet right now, we are experiencing the breakdown of the old, and it's time to come together and to create the new. And to do that, we really need to be in these powerful communities.
mm, beautiful.
Mm.
This is good, y'all. Are y'all ready? Shall we dive in, Emily?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's go in. It's
All right, so we are going to officially open up the Akashic Records today. For anybody who's new to the Akashic Records, why don't I just give some background on the
That'd be
Akashic
great.
Records and how they work and what you can begin to notice as we're going in so that you can work with them at a higher level of mastery. Because truly, everyone has the ability to access the Akashic Records. All of us have stumbled into the Akashic Records, accidentally had encounters with the records, whether it's in an aha moment or a meditation or a dream state. But we're going to do it very consciously today. So, what is this realm of the Akashic Records that we are about to venture into? The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all information, past, present, all possible futures. Okay, this information is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral does not mean comme ci, comme ça. I say neutral means truly unconditional love and zero judgment. This is from God perspective, God mind. The records are also known as superconscious intelligence. They're also known as the Book of Life. If you grew up in a religious context, like I did, I was Southern Baptist growing up. And as I studied the Bible, we learned about the Book of Life. The Akashic Records is this Book of Life. And every person, place, thing on the planet has an Akashic Record. The planet itself has an Akashic Record. Relationships, businesses, countries, even intergalactic aspects of the cosmos, we can tap into the Akashic Records and get information. So, how do we tap into this field when we're going to do it consciously? It's about becoming a vibrational match to that key code frequency. I said unconditional love and zero judgment, right? The Akashic Records are recorded from this frequency. So, in order to get that information, we have to bring our awareness, our bodies, our minds, our consciousness into alignment with that frequency. Right. So going into the Akashic Records, we're going to do some meditation. We're going to do some breath work. We're going to do some oming. Om is actually a frequency that prepares your body for communication. Right. So there are components to this process that are going to attune your body and your mind, your emotions to this field. But there are some things that you want to be aware of as well as you're going in to get the most out of this experience. And that is, we've got to take full responsibility for everything that we are experiencing and creating in life. All right. So we go into the Akashic Records and we're going to get some great information about what's happening in our life or how we're going to shift and change it. But here's the thing is that we have to be willing to take responsibility for the miscreation.
Mhm.
It's already there. You can't go in victim mode, right? Because you lose your power if you're in victim mode. The only person that you have the ability to change is yourself. And it's really about changing your perspective, changing how you view things, right? But if you give that power away outside of you, that's really where we become susceptible to distortion in our field, to really the slavery of the matrix, giving away our power, right? Is how we succumb to um, all of the things that keep us entrapped in our modern day life. All right, so that's one thing you got to know in the records is you got to take responsibility. The other thing that's important to know about the records is they work by invitation only, which doesn't mean that only certain ones of us are invited into the records. Every single person has the divine right and ability to access this realm. But what it means that the records work by invitation only, we have to ask the questions. We have to invite forward the knowledge that we want. Okay, the records will only give us what we're ready to receive. How do they know what we're ready to receive? Well, we're going to ask the question. We're going to formulate the question, right? So begin thinking about some questions or some areas where you want to step forward and take responsibility. In essence, asking the question is already taking responsibility for a desire to shift and change and have growth in an area. All right. So begin thinking about some questions that you want to ask once we're in the records. Let's also talk about what to expect when you're in the records in terms of actually reading them. Okay. Because for some of you that are very clairvoyant, that means clear inner vision, or you're going to see through your inner mind. It might look like a book is coming down from the shelf and you open it and you start flipping through and you start reading it. It doesn't look that way for most people. Okay. It can. Here's what you need to know. First of all, you get to create whatever context you want with the records. So the more you interact and you play along, right? For those of you who are meeting me for the first time, I'm a former actress, and improv acting is a great preparation for reading the Akashic records or doing this work, because what happens in improv acting is the rule is yes and, meaning as you're going through this process and I act like I'm handing John something there, he's got to say yes and play along and take it. You can't be like, I'm not getting anything. I'm not, right? You have to tune in and be perceptive, and you have to play along. You have to play yes and. And if you haven't done this before, it can feel like you're making it up. It feels like it's coming through your imagination. That's actually perfect. Your imagination is the gateway. We truly can't make anything up. Through our imagination, we're sending and receiving information and data only. All right, so let go of the fact that you feel like you're making it up and begin to tune into the awareness of the imagination. So I'm going to break down the imagination really quickly for us here, so that you can be more perceptive on what's happening. So in your imagination, sometimes you visualize things. That's your inner vision, your clairvoyance, right? Also in your imagination, you can hear things sometimes. That's your clairaudience, clear inner hearing. Some of you might begin to hear things. Clairsentience, clear inner feeling. That's when you have a feeling. It can be a sensation or an emotion that's happening, right? Generally, we feel those in our body. We think our imagination might be more in our mind. Think of your imagination as your whole body having this experience with you. Okay. And then sometimes we get claircognizance, which is clair knowing, where it feels like all of a sudden a vast amount of information becomes available. All of a sudden, a complex situation in your life that you didn't understand the other people's perspectives or why, all of a sudden you understand everyone's perspective and why. And you're like, oh, I get it. Okay. That's your claircognizance or your clairknowingness. And all of those different senses, we all have all of those different senses. Those are going to become active when we go into the field together. So they're going to be working in symphony with you to relay messages, to relay symbols to you. All right. And your job is to pick up on those symbols. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Cool. Any questions?
No, I think we should go in.
Let's do it. All right, everybody. I'm going to invite you to sit up nice and straight. And feel all four corners of your feet on the floor. Tuck your tailbone and your chin under slightly so it elongates your spine, and lay your palms up and open and receptive on your lap. And we're going to prepare ourselves for going into this group journey together by synchronizing our breath. And the breath pattern is going to look like a deep inhale in through the nose, pausing at the top. And then when we exhale, you're going to exhale like you're blowing through a straw. It's called pursed lips. Okay. This is a Taoist breathing technique that's going to activate different aspects of your body to support us as we go through this. So sitting up nice and straight, take that posture, elongating the spine, palms up and open. Let's take the deep breath in through the nose. Take this breath in, creating space. Deep breath in. Imagine creating space in the body, the mind, the emotions, pausing at the top of that breath. This is 0 point energy. See if you can notice yourself as a creator of space as we gently exhale. Good. Exhale all the air out of the lungs. Second, deep breath in through the nose. When you're ready, call light into the body. Deep breath in. Calling light from 360 degrees, entering into the body. Good. Pausing at the top of that breath. Turn your awareness inward. See if you can notice every cell of your body illuminating with rainbow-colored light. Good. Gentle exhale. As you're exhaling, noticing yourself as a being of light. Third, deep breath in. Calling your consciousness into the now moment. Deep breath in, filling the lungs, pausing at the top of that breath, letting go of everything that happened before this moment and everything that you still will show up to later tonight. And gently exhale, following the breath with your awareness, arriving at the end of the exhale, fully present in the now, ready to work. Good job. Turn your awareness inward, y'all. Activating the crystalline tube of light that runs up and down the spine. So I want you to imagine, let's activate some clairvoyance, clear inner vision. Imagine that you are examining, perceiving this crystalline tube of light. Examine it from the outside. Notice the facets. Notice where it's smooth. Shifting your awareness now to the inside of the crystalline tube. And again, noticing where it's faceted, noticing where it's smooth. But pulling your awareness out of the body just slightly, and as you begin to breathe, watch the breath as it moves, travels through the crystalline tube of light. Good. Turning on the clairaudience now. See if you can hear the sound of the crystalline tube of light as it is now activated. Good. Imagining that you can hear this crystalline tube of light. Maybe you hear your breath moving through the crystalline tube. Maybe you hear a crackle of the vibration, beginning to build your connection here with the field. Good. Activating clairsentience now. Imagining you can feel the buzzing of the crystalline tube of light within your body. And on the next exhale, we are going to send the crystalline tube of light down into the core of Mother Earth. Inhaling as we exhale, sending the crystalline tube of light down, traveling through the crust of Mother Earth. This is the realm of the ancestors. There's an activation here for you. Pause to receive this activation. Good. Traveling down now into the roots of Mother Earth. This is the realm of medicine. Our bodies, as a holographic representation of Mother Earth, also have a realm of medicine that can be activated. If you choose to activate this realm of medicine within your body, you may choose to do so now. That activation is available. Traveling down now into the crystalline caves of Mother Earth, activating the crystalline DNA, opening up your access and resource to intelligence, technology, innovation. Good. Dropping down one more layer into the sacred underground waters of Mother Earth. Recalibrating here before we drop down into the core of Mother Earth, the belly, the womb. Completing the recalibration here in the womb of Mother Earth. And as you recalibrate, Mother Earth is aligning you to, once again, with ease, access your divine blueprint, activating your potentiality of Christic consciousness embodiment on the planet during this incarnation, ushering the energies of heaven on earth as we bring humanity into the golden age, rising up out of the belly of Mother Earth now, bringing all this energy back up. Feel this energy coming back up into your body, moving into the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, the light body. Feel that shift now as your Christic conscious potential becomes more available to you. We're going to bring in the intelligence of the Akash now to perfectly illuminate your path as you embody Christic consciousness energy as a master on this planet, bringing the awareness back to the crystalline tube of light, this time sending it out the top of your head, all the way up through the layers of space and time, exiting the universe and the multiverse. Deep inhale as you anchor into the Akash, the all that is. Exhaling, setting an intention to acclimate to this high frequency energy as you open up the crystalline tube of light, the intelligence forward and backward through time of the Akash becomes available in gold, platinum, diamond sparkles of a light spiraling down the crystalline tube through the layers of space and time, integrating into your upper gateways, spiraling down, harnessing, activating in the soul star, continuing to spiral down through the crown, the third eye, the fourth eye, the throat, the ascended heart, solar plexus, sacral root, spiraling down out your feet, activating earth star chakra below your feet, anchoring into the core of Mother Earth. Deep breath in. But as you exhale, shifting the consciousness from the mind down into the heart, activating your heart mind. Here we go with our 5 ohms, guys. We're going to sound 5 sacred ohms and open our Akashic records. This is going to be a little bit of a Simon Says, so repeat after me. With this ohm, I relax my body. And then we're going to ohm together. With this ohm, I relax my mind. With this ohm, I release my ego. With this ohm, I call in the light. With this ohm, I open the Akashic records of Emily Suzanne Harrison. The records are now open. Gotta take some slow blinks, everybody. Going back into our sacred space here together. How's everybody feeling? Let's check in. How you feeling, John?
Feel amazing. Wow. I
Good.
love that process, that opening. Ooh,
Yeah, there were some good channeling activations that came in specifically for you guys there. Good work.
great work. Thank you all. I'm starting to promote y'all to panelists as we
Cool.
open up to go into some of the records. Emily, when I noticed coming in for me, it's as the records open, this huge door is just like slowly opening in this vast library
Good.
uh, of what was streaming through. So just it was epic. The vision was epic.
Good.
Um, so y'all ready to go into the records? Yeah. Yes. As I promote you to panelists, go ahead and turn on your video also. Let me know that you're ready to come on. Um, and you ready, Emily?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. Carol, let's start with you. Welcome to the call.
Thank you very much. I am not clairvoyant at all, but I did get this image of like I'm being with Merlin and this just huge tome opened up. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's
That
super
is
cool.
amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my question is, I've always been very judgmental, and it's something that I'm trying to work on, but
Mhm.
this last week I am out of control. And is there something in my records that can help me with that?
First of all, thank you for that vulnerable share. Me too. I get super judgmental, even though I know that curiosity over judgment is the way to go. I still have a lot of programming around that. Congratulations on one, feeling safe enough and self-expressed to name it and to bring it in here for all of us to work on. That is mastery, dude. I love seeing that. So I want to acknowledge that in you. The records want to acknowledge that in you too. The other thing that's coming forward right now is we're doing our shadow work on a very deep level. So it should be coming up. If it's not coming up for you, then I don't know what to say. Y'all need to shake it out a little bit, because this is the time that we get to really work on it, and we have the opportunity to alchemize it. Talked about Merlin coming in, Merlin, the great magician, right? We've got Hermes Trismegistus, we've got Saint Germain. All of these are.
Emily, you went silent on us.
What'd you say, John?
Oh, we lost you for a second. Your voice, you're back.
Okay, great. I'm back. Also, good sign that there's a lot of power here coming through the field. Okay, so what the guides want me to go over really quickly here for everybody are the stages of alchemy, so that you can understand more of what you're doing and how you're working, how the energy is presenting itself, so you can work with it more dynamically. Okay, stage one is called calcination. It's when things blow up. So that's when Miss Carol getting very judgmental about people, and she can't even help it. It's just coming out, right? That's stage one. You got this fire energy. Stage two is the energy where, let's imagine it's an explosion in the field. There's chaos everywhere. Okay. Chaos is not the time to make a decision. Chaos is the time to allow things to settle. We need a good cry, really. We got the fire element. Disillusion is stage two, where we need that time to have a good cry and reflect over things. Okay. So you got to give yourself that stage two. Stage three is the separation. So after you've got the explosion and then you cry it out, what happens is you're going to have the BS judgment, or whatever the issue is on the bottom. You're going to have the neutrality, or whatever the situation is, in the middle. And you're going to have an essence of truth on top, where you can see your patterning. All right. So once you get that essence of truth on top, you got to scoop that off, and you got to trot yourself over into a new little lab, because we got to start almost a fresh process here, right? Because we got to get rid of the old crap. We got to purify at this point. So then we take the essence, or the truth, and then we start to apply gentle heat. So taking it to the new lab is a step, applying the gentle heat is the next step. All right. So think about when you start to apply gentle heat to the truth. You begin to agitate these molecules. This is where we change form into the vapor. All right. So as you agitate your truth and you begin working with your truth, what happens is you get this lightness of being, where you go up into the clouds. Think of rain. All right. You're up into the clouds. You're mingling with the heavens. You're mingling with the God energy. You're getting your aha moments. You're in the records, right? Then you come back down, and you bring that energy back down to the planet, the people, your body, your family, right? So the most important thing that's happening here, Carol, is not that you're dealing with these human challenging moments, but the guides are inviting you to increase that vision. And I actually heard them say, you know what, Martin, but bust her chops on that one. She's not allowed to say that she's not clairvoyant anymore, because you are. Vision is what and they want you to see yourself from the perspective of how you're doing the work, rather than this microcosm where you're like, oh, I'm in the human, messed it up again, and I'm working on this again. That's the bigger lesson for you. They also do want to say that the judgment that you're working on is ancestral. It's programmed into your DNA. You learned it from parents, and they learned it from parents as a survival mechanism. All right. So take it easy on yourself, and maybe some ancestral work or clearing around that. And they want you to make up the medicine on that too, meaning go into your imagination, be like, all right, how do I do ancestral healing? And some weird idea will pop into your head, and then your job is to do that. Cool?
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Carol, for coming on.
Carol.
And y'all, I haven't spoken about it yet, but we're going to get into a special offer. It's a 30-minute session with Emily. It's heavily discounted. I've already signed up. I'm booking my session. Her sessions, like I said, are amazing. You'll be able to go deeper than what we're going here, but even this is phenomenal. Something else that I want to bring up in relevance to what you're bringing to the table, Carol. because it's coming up strong for the collective. It's coming up strong for me to share in community for awareness for all of us. And Emily has said it in her elegant way, and I'm going to say it in my way. So maybe it lands in different parts of us that are ready to receive.
Mm.
But we are being called to witness those places in us that are coming up and not try to get rid of them. And if I'm having judgment, be curious of where judgment is calling you to a refinement of your mastery. Be curious instead of making it wrong and condemning it because it's uncomfortable because you judge yourself in a particular way from that judgment or sadness or ego or whatever it may be, and sit in the stew of that energy boiling as it alchemizes into something new. We're not going to be able to go through by escaping what's present for us. Go ahead, Emily. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just waving, feeling the
Yeah.
energy coming through.
Energy.
Yeah, we can't escape it. We got to go through it. That's the theme.
So anything that we're feeling compressed about, contracted, wanting to be short of breath on it so that we don't have to be with it, pay attention to that because that is where the gold lies at this moment. That is your precious portal into an ascensionary energy that you're ready to step into. So, Carol, thank you for bringing it to the table.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Vanessa, welcome.
Hey there, good to see you. So I'm in a weird place. I'm making really big decisions this week, like things that weren't on the table even last week. And I don't know where it ends up, but I'm kind of making them anyway. So it's like the unhuman way of making big decisions, like life-changing decisions. I'm not freaking out, but I'm kind of in this new place and just would like some information about that.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'll ask you to do is think about a very specific question, okay, that you might like information on. Because remember, the records work by invitation only. So you want to invite forward that information. But while you're thinking on that, Vanessa, I will speak to, because the guides are coming through. Yep, this is what it looks like. Things that weren't even on the table last week, on the table this week. This is timeline shifting. This is quantum leaping. Okay. And there are a lot of different timelines available for us right now. So if you're noticing this, this is part of the shift. And it's all positive, even though it feels somewhat daunting. Another thing that the guides want to point out that Vanessa is experiencing here, so that you guys can understand too, when you're in a new timeline, is it can be challenging to know, right? When we're in a new timeline. One indication that I get when I'm in a new timeline is I behave differently, right? Like I'm like, why am I so calm about this?
No.
Yes. So again, just great things to be aware of, that we're shifting dimensions a lot right now. Okay. Let me ask you if you have a specific question.
Yeah. It's pretty much, since it's kind of unfamiliar, so I've always been way more analytical in like the way I do decisions. So this is a little bit unfamiliar terrain for me. I'm just wondering, like, do I just lean in? Should I try to take more control of it or just go with the flow?
Can I assist a little bit to be a little more specific?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have questions about your career, Vanessa?
Oh, yeah.
Can you ask specifically about that?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking of going back to Europe, and I have two different opportunities or three different opportunities, and I try to figure out where to lean in, how to identify which one I want to commit to.
Okay, excellent. I can give you great tips on what to do here. Okay, so first of all, the guides want to address decision making and give yourself props for being not so analytical and going more with what might feel like a gut feeling or your intuition, right? This is really important, and that this is, you want to always tune in to intuition and your gut feeling. Okay. But sometimes when we're not used to using that, or we can't necessarily explain how that is working, it can be really scary to trust our intuition and to trust those. So just know it's part of the process. There are spaces and people here to help you get comfortable using your intuition, but you're going through a massive upgrade. And I love all of the things that I'm seeing and hearing. All right, so you've got 3 different possibilities. Here's what you do. Take some ceremony time, like set aside quiet time and space, light some candles, create like your vision. You're going into the field, Vanessa. You have the power to do this, okay? And then maybe go back to this replay and do the 5-0 method so that you open your records, or screw it. Just do a meditation that you love and get into a space that you feel like you're connected to unconditional love and zero judgment. You don't have to overthink it too much. Just have that intention, okay? And then very specifically, like you're imagining going into all 3 different circumstances, go in and just notice, how do I feel? What does my life look like in this one? And just play around with it, okay? Another good question to ask, I like that you're grinning. Maybe you already did this. A good question to ask is, what would the challenges for me be here in this timeline, right? And check out all 3 of them. And then whichever one brings your soul the most joy, go with that one.
Yeah. Oh, this is so great. I have a phenomenal mentor who guided me down that road. I haven't inherited that capability for myself, but
Oh,
this
no,
is
take 2.
such,
Actually, the guy, will you please do it take 2 and just say that same thing again, but without I haven't, but just say I have?
yeah.
Cool, do it again. Take 2.
I'm integrating it in my new way of making decisions.
Yes. Aho. Yes.
Mhm.
Good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would have to say that any of us, we would not be shown or presented with something unless we were ready to navigate it on our own.
Yeah.
And so just it's really we're here to speak more empowerment phrases to ourselves, the diminishing things, anywhere where we're lowering our vibration or acquiescing what we want for the sake of something else. And that's conditioning that we have learned. It's generational, it's ancestral, it's
Mhm.
societal.
Yeah.
It's let's catch ourselves in those. And what does it hurt anybody for you to say, you know, I've done this and I'm going to do it again. And I'm going
Yeah.
to do it better next time. And I have access to it. It hurts nobody. It takes nothing away from anybody. As a matter of fact, I would bet you that it honors your mentor that guided you through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Blessings
That's
to you.
cool. Yeah, good.
Ah, so good. Okay, let's continue. Kathy Bray, welcome to the call. And, isn't Emily freaking amazing? God, I just want to put you in my pocket all the time. Kathy, welcome. Kathy, can we get you to unmute your microphone, please?
Hi.
There you are.
Hi.
I listened to Emily
Kathy.
on YouTube, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So my question is, everyone tells me I'm psychic, but yet I don't feel like I am.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I missing?
Well, let's see. Well, what do you think that it's going to feel like to be psychic? What do you imagine it to feel like?
Seeing things? No. I have a gut feeling usually.
Mm-hmm.
If I like someone or if I don't like someone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Is that being psychic?
Yeah, that's your clairsentience. That's an inner feeling of feeling their energy and feeling how your energy meshes with them, and noticing if it works for you or if it doesn't work for you. What I'm getting is that you actually come from a lineage of powerful psychics, and it feels like it's been closed down because it hasn't been safe. And maybe even you grew up in a religious environment where it wasn't safe. Yeah, is that sounding about right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what the guides have for you that can move and shift that energy. First of all, again, you're not alone. It's so many of us who are indoctrinated and brought up in religious households like that. I mean, I grew up Southern Baptist. Um, I thought your name sounded familiar. You probably heard my story lots when I talk about my mom was a Sunday school teacher. She drugged me to church camp, and I was into it too. Like I found community there too. So I was witnessing to my friends and bringing my friends to Jesus, and I was also sneaking out of my house. Let me create a real like the truthful picture here, right? But when we do grow up in those environments, there are paradigms of belief that can be challenging to get outside of. So here's what's helped me. That is remembering that Jesus said, the least amongst you can do all that I have done and more. And I feel like Jesus Christ, Yeshua, he was an avatar. He was a being where all 12 strands of his DNA had become activated. And he came to hold that space and to show that way for the rest of us. But remember, he was raising people from the dead. He was multiplying the loaves. He was performing miracles that seemed outside of explanation at that point in time. And so if Jesus was allowed to be psychic and do all these magical things, and he said, the least amongst you can do all that I have done and more, for me, that was enough permission to begin to start looking at things differently.
Okay, so you're going to tell me what they have to say.
Well, all of that was what they had to say. You didn't
I
ask.
think they're telling you.
Oh, say it.
Oh, so let's do an activation here because the crown chakra, which is about 12 inches above your head, this is where we process our relationship to God. Okay, so anybody who wants to know what it looks and feels like to release any and all paradigms of programming forward and backward through time, both terrestrial and non-terrestrial, around religion, and form your own context and relationship with God, you can say yes now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Good. And so it is. We'll just clear that and open it. And these doors open, opportunities come. It's your job. This is a collective you to walk through, to say yes to the opportunities. Because if something like now that we've opened up and your friend Sally call you up and say, hey, you want to go meditate at the Buddhist Center? And you're like, no, I don't want to do that. You just said no to the opportunity of what came in for you. So guys, just be aware of how the energy works and how you get to get the most out of it.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's fun. Thanks, Kathy.
Can we play a little bit?
Okay.
Kathy, can we play a little bit? And this is for all. I'm trusting. I know. So someone told you, and Jesus in that Bible verse is telling you, and you're telling the field that you're ready to release all of this. What are you wanting? What are you wanting to claim through your intention? Not an expectation of what that might mean, but your intention. What is coming in for you, Kathy, that you're wanting to experience for yourself, and why is that? And allow our intentions are carrying so much commanding energy right now. And that's why opening up the Akash and asking the right questions, but not just asking the right questions, understanding the intention of our question and what we're hoping to access. It's a whole nother level of genius that you get to bring in if you only just take a minute to get intimate with the truth of what that might be. And so, Kathy, what is it that you're hoping to feel? What is your intention of how you wish to have a relationship with yourself that seems far removed from you now, but that you potentially have access to?
I think I would like to hear what they have to say.
Can you tell me why?
Because I've always wanted to do that. I mean, all these people out here are like psychic and they know so much, and I pull cards and they take classes and courses, and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere.
So is it because you want to feel a sense of community, or you want to play, or you want to feel like you're left out, or what is the root of that? Because I want to.
I'd like to do a business.
Why?
Why not?
But Really, let's do, and again, I'm asking for a depth of intimacy so that we can awaken this, so that we can activate that page in the record books that you're ready to dive into.
To help people.
And why do you want to help people?
I just feel that's my calling.
And why is that your calling? We're going to get to the root of it. I'm not going to let you stay superficial on me.
Um, why is that my calling? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Can I give you something to explore?
Sure,
It's because you love people.
I do.
Can you open up your heart to that?
Help them now.
Can you open up just to love? It's not even to help them, it's just to love. People don't need help, but people, everybody benefits from love. And if you can open up to the flow that's emanating from you, that's unique from you, that only you can give, what's given to you to facilitate that will be beyond measure as you tune into that. So opening the records to what you have access to and why you have access to, for you to be the beneficiary of first, and then for you to disperse. That's your gift, love.
You're right. I probably don't love myself enough first.
I think you do, but you can.
Yeah.
I'd recommend the session with Emily. I know so much that can open up, or tune in and come back and listen to the replay.
No, I was going to sign up. Yeah. I hear that a lot. Why don't I take care of myself first?
Sometimes we just don't get taught that. Go ahead, Emily.
Yeah, well, I was going to speak to that, John, and you nailed it. I saw this come from, I don't know the doctor's name who said it, but he was on the Drew Barrymore show, and I saw a clip of it, and I just stopped in my tracks. He said, imagine if when we were born, you were taught from the very beginning that you had this very precious human to take care of, and it was your job to take care of this human. Think about how that would change our life, because the paradigm right now looks like we're constantly looking for someone else to take care of us. We're not taught that we are the precious ones. And dude, I almost wanted to have another baby just to teach it this as I grow up. But then I thought better of that, John. But I thought, wow, like how amazing would that be? Hey, little human, I'm here to teach you how to take the best care of yourself as you can on this planet. What?
Yeah.
I created some ancestral stuff there that I need to go back and fix. But we all have been brought up that way, so it makes sense that we feel like all of the messed up things that we do around worthiness, around feeling left out, around abandonment. We've got deep core wounds to address, but that right there would solve it all, wouldn't it?
It's beautiful. I saw the same clip, Emily. Profound. It's amazing.
I know. Wow.
And so we don't have to judge ourselves because we weren't doing it. It's like, oh shit, I get to do it differently now.
Yeah.
Awesome. But the whole guilt, the shame, I did something wrong, I've sacrificed. It's like, forget that. That timeline is gone.
Yeah.
That timeline is gone. It's like that's collapsed. We're on new timelines. What are you choosing from here forward? That's it. That's it. Kathy, thank you for playing with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God. So good. Y'all, let's get into the special offer. It's the links in the chat box. Chris, put it in there one more time, please. Y'all click on that, sign up for a session. Oh my God, y'all it's so good. Emily, let everybody know what they're gonna be able to dive into when they go into a 30-minute session with you.
Well, you may think 30 minutes, what can we get done in 30 minutes? But y'all be limping out of there by the be like, I got so much energy. I just need a nap. We get really, really specific, and whatever needs to come through will come through. And there's a preparation process that I like to take everybody through, which includes sending you a prep worksheet that will help get you really clear on what you want to work on. And even before your session, once you start writing it down, your records, your guides will begin working with you to move all of these issues forward so that we can bring them into a state of coherence for you. And The records call forward your highest timeline, your highest potentiality. So there are adjustments and alignments, energetic alignments that happen when we get to work together. I'll also say this work is cumulative. So the more you do it, the more it continues to expand and create an empowerment for you. So I look forward to those of you who I will meet new this time, and those of you who have worked with me before who are excited for that cumulative effect. It's going to be a fun one. We got powerful energy in the planet.
And y'all, this is significantly discounted. We even asked Emily to bring it down a little bit more. And she's so generous. I knew she would, but I wanted to make it accessible as much as we could, even mentally, even where the mind says, okay, I've got to do that. Because if the mind's not buying off, then you don't get the opportunity to take advantage of it, and open your heart to it is what I would encourage you to. Allow the mind to catch up, and let the mind know that you're going to be leading for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And be open.
I love that you're talking about the mind. I got some new vocabulary to share what happens in the space of the records too, as I'm understanding the brain and how our brain works more. And what I'm learning is that has anybody ever wondered, like, why are our belief systems so difficult to change? Like we know that we have belief systems, and then we've got to change them. They got to be in alignment with what we want, because we can't outperform our belief systems. But why are our belief systems so hard to change? Here's why. Because they are only formed and can be formed in what's called critical periods. And these critical periods of growth and mind opening don't happen naturally for the human all the time. You've got some at birth. Well, here's an example of, let me use baby geese for an example. A baby goose, gosling, there's a 2-hour window when this being is going to form connections to whatever is in its environment, and whatever that is becomes its mother. That is the paradigm. Okay. When we have those critical periods and we're open in that way, we can form these new cognitive beliefs, right? The records create an environment for you to re-enter critical periods, to begin shifting and changing in ways that feel impossible in the 3D world in our everyday life, because we're altering the field and we're calling forward the intention of bringing ourselves into this critical period where we can make changes.
That's powerful, Emily. It's powerful, and it's fantastic awareness, y'all. And where do we want to focus our minds to create those pinnacle experiences as well? What environments can we submit to? They're going to facilitate the anchoring of an upgraded system within ourselves, within our mind. So this is awesome, Emily. I love the way that you're explaining this. It's so on point. Y'all, the special offer, the link's in the chat box. If you don't find the link, just go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Emily34. Again, y'all, this is over 50% off. I don't even know if you do 30-minute sessions anymore. I know you're doing an hour and they're like twice that price. But I don't, it's just, this is amazing. Make this an early Christmas gift for yourself is what I would recommend. I certainly am. And Emily, can we continue more Q&A? This is fun.
It is fun.
Okay.
I love it.
Lisa, welcome to the call. Lisa, let me get you to unmute, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thanks for pulling me out of the queue. God, everything you said was very poignant in different ways. I liked what you mentioned about the heart, pulling you out of your past patterns. And I feel like I've been able to do that a lot. But I am exploring with great curiosity the multidimensional self and the ability to open up to channeling and mediumship. And the Akashic record is kind of a new area I haven't really explored as much. So I'm just wondering if something is holding me back and I'm not recognizing it. I'm also one of those who says, but I'm still not getting it. So you have also told us to just pretend, and it's true. I'm a designer, so I'm always designing in my mind, but I don't count that as channeling or mediumship. I count that as my work.
Right. And that's the other thing that I was going to share with Kathy is sometimes when it's so natural, it's hard to identify that it's even a superpower, right? Because it just comes so naturally. But yeah, when you're getting the insight, the inspiration that's coming through your mind, Lisa, that's channeling. You are channeling. Right. And I think the only thing holding you back is think about if you were in a group of people who are all doing it and learning and saying together, oh, I'm channeling. Oh, I'm learning to channel. Oh, I think that was it. Okay, I'm learning. It's just about learning to name it and claim it differently. And when we're doing that in isolation and no one else around us is doing that, it makes sense that we're going to stay in that blocked state because that keeps us part of our tribe. And on a level of survival, we need to stay part of the tribe. Otherwise, we're probably going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
these are very, very subconscious and primal things that happen. And it feels hard to understand. Like, why can't I just like flip the switch in my brain? Trust me, immerse yourself in a community where you're getting to know other people who are doing it. You guys, you're all going to be calling yourself channelers in 5 or 6 days of being together, right?
Mhm.
And this is one thing that I notice too when I take my people and visionaries away on retreat where we get physically together in the space. Their advancement happens much more accelerated because they're up level, they're feeling the community and the comfort and the um it becomes so obvious that that's what we're doing in those spaces and our confidence builds. And the more you name it and claim it and embody it, the less you have those moments of second guessing.
Mm.
So, but I appreciate what you just said, and I'm trying to lean into that. But I also understand that with channeling, it's not you making it up. You're getting these downloads that have nothing, it doesn't, it's not like I'm creating a design or a vision for something. It comes to you differently. And so I'm waiting for that experience to happen. So, and with the meditations and so on, that I do, my mind wanders and then I try to bring it back and do different techniques and so on. But I'm wondering if maybe that's my fault. My practice isn't strong enough for me to be opening up to it. So I'm just looking, or if there's some block, what is that? And so I'm trying to find areas where I could maybe tap into it easier and understand it and witness it and claim it, like you say.
Okay. So environment's coming up again for you to try it in a different environment. So maybe do it in a different room or maybe clear the energy in your room. The mind is something that we have to train like an animal. Sit, stay, stay. Joe Dispenza talks about the mind and it takes a lot of training. So and keep at it. Okay.
Mhm.
I would encourage you to change your environment. I am seeing you outside. I know that for a lot of us, it's becoming winter time and it might not be as easy to go outside and meditate, but being outside in nature is something that I'm seeing. There's one other thing that came up for you too. Around it was the channeling. Um, Oh, yes. So channeling looks a little bit different depending on who's doing it and the era of when channeling starts coming in. So there's, trance channeling of people who go into a trance and it seems like something else has taken over their body, right? I don't necessarily now Edgar Casey channeled in a way that he didn't even remember it, right? So an entity would come in and speak through him, and he didn't even remember it. So those were some of the first um, evidence or displays of what channeling looked like in humanity as in a modern day context. And then you also will see people like Bashar who go into, and sometimes the body will tick and move weird, and the voice alters and the cadence alters. So we see that kind of channeling too, and we'll think, oh, is that what channeling is supposed to look like? I heard a lady describe, she was an Akashic record reader and she was channeling in front of the Sphinx. It was unbelievable. And she was just talking I'm going to keep this very conversational with you because the guides need a human here to interpret that helps the transmission so that you can receive it more fully. And it didn't feel necessarily like a typical channeling, as we would say. It was very conversational. And as she said that, I was able to see my own experience in channeling, because sometimes it does feel just very conversational. I think Kathy or somebody even said, well, where's the message coming in? It's all the message coming in. It's all the channel, right? However, you probably also noticed that when we were going into the records, there were times when my voice would alter or the cadence would alter, or it seemed like, oh, she's tapping into something a little bit different there. Yes, that happens too. But there's no right or wrong way or way that it needs to look for you. And it's changing right now too. So it can be especially hard to figure out, oh, where do I fit in the channel? Because my channeling doesn't really look like that and doesn't really look like that. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing you say it could be conversational, like
Mhm.
you're having conversations with your friends, you're talking about deep subjects, and you just kind of know how to respond and how to guide the conversation. Is that
Yes.
part of it?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I've been doing that for years.
There you go.
There you go. You're doing it. Well, and I want to share with you all, I started noticing it years ago with some of the channels that have been on the show that they were less channeling and shifting their voices and they were becoming more conversational. And I had been inviting them into that years before. It's like, it's changing. It's like that. It's beautiful. And no one's saying that you should change it, but there's something else that is about the embodiment of that wisdom through you, that is precious for others to be able to witness and to emulate. Not thinking that everybody has to alter somehow in order to be able to be that connected, if you will, or open to be that connected.
Yes.
I have to share, in the 12 years I've been doing this show, I couldn't remember who's going to be on tomorrow, who was on yesterday, and barely who was on an hour before. And that's because most of the time I am in a position of going in and out and channeling on these calls. It's just what comes through. And then you can say it's psychic, you can say it's channeling, you can just say it's John having a conversation. But I'm very much aware of what's coming through. A practice that I would suggest for you and for everybody on the call, regardless if you want to channel or not, it's just a connection and intimacy with ourselves. Maybe come back and listen to the replay and tune into this beautiful place of setting an environment that Emily guided us through with the practice. That's setting the field. And after you set the field, just be in pure silence, not being guided by a meditation, somebody else's words, wherever they're trying to take you, but just be in silence, whether it be in nature, listen to the wind or whatever, but still your mind. And the second your mind comes up with something else, let it run through whatever it's going to and get back to the stillness again. Don't make yourself wrong for it not being quiet. But as much as you can, come back to the stillness. And if you need an anchor for the stillness, try I am a cosmic pillar of light. And hold that. And whenever your mind goes into thought, just bring it back. I'm a cosmic pillar of light. Allow that to be an anchor for you so that you're with yourself. And do that for at least 12 minutes a day in whatever environment you want to choose it in. Set the field, have your mantra ready, whatever you want it to be, and sit and be patient and be open to receive yourself. And I'll bet you can almost guarantee. Now, if you have a flow of information that comes to you that it feels like channeling, don't close that off. You'll know the difference between the mind and whatever channel, and be open to the river of energy that flows to you. It's powerful. It's powerful, but I would invite you into that. And again, open it. I love what you transmitted earlier, Emily, and setting the field for opening the Akash. That was powerful. That was probably one of the most powerful energy environmental setups, I guess I'll call it. I don't know.
Invocation?
What'd you say?
Invocation?
Invocation, setting the field. That was one of the most powerful invocations for setting the field that I have participated in quite some time. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Lisa, thank you for bringing it into the conversation, and blessings to you. All right, I'm gonna try to zip it up a little bit more. I know I'm interjecting a lot. I want to give Emily the floor. Jill, let's go to you. Welcome, Jill.
Hello.
Hello.
This is such an honor. Thank you. Um, I am just trying to get a little more clarification about where I should be focusing my energy on my gifts. I'm a reader, I'm a intuitive, so I was wondering what the masters, teachers, and loved ones have to share with me.
Yeah, they agree. They want you focusing on these gifts and bringing playfulness. And I'm seeing just um, like, like it's putting yourself out there more. What does
Mhm.
how do people find you right now, Jill? If they need to find you.
Um, I'm in the process of building Facebook community, Instagram community, and YouTube. But my thing is being seen. So I've
Mhm.
had to do a lot of deep inner work about being seen. And I think I'm at a place, not think, I know I'm at a place now where I'm learning how to do my own videos. And that's kind of a new thing for me, but I've got help. So just, yes.
Okay. So yeah, doing the videos and getting them out there. And I hear you saying you have help. I had a list of things coming through my Hollywood mind of ideas or tips and pointers that I can give you. If you feel like you want them, if you feel like you got all that down, then we'll just skip over that. What do you want them, or you want me to keep going?
Oh, I would love some ideas. Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
So just, I mean, basic things. You want to have light in front of you, and you want
Mm-hmm.
to have it like up just a little bit. So if I'm filming on my camera, I want it pretty much at eye level, but maybe up just a little bit, like this, right?
Okay.
If you're too far up like this, they're looking down at you, and you don't want people looking down at you. And if you're down like this, then you're looking down at them. But you want just like that nice angle there, okay?
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And then I like ring lights. Ring lights help me feel, because it is challenging to put yourself out there and just like, for everybody to see. So I like to feel pretty when I go out there, and my ring light
Mhm.
makes me feel prettier. So order yourself a ring light so that you have like a nice setup. Okay. And
Nice.
then are you planning on doing live videos, or are you going to do pre-recorded videos?
Um, I will eventually do some lives, but I do a lot of oracle card readings and
Mm-hmm.
things like that now. So I'm gonna start with just doing like 3 card spreads or something like that and give some advice to people on a daily basis. But like I said, I am a Akashic Records reader, so I would like to set up appointments with that as well. But I appreciate what you have shared. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Also, make sure you always give people a call to action at the end. Give
Ooh,
them, right? You want them
mhm.
to either reach out to you, or you want them to share this video, but make sure you have a call to action so that people know what to do next in every video, okay?
Oh, perfect. I am so excited to have just a little bit of, a boost. And I appreciate you, Emily. I've been listening to you for more than 5 years, and you are
Um,
just a master at teaching people
Mhm.
about the Akash. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Miss Jill. I received that. I look forward to you
and
being there on those videos.
Right. Okay. Thank you, John, for
Jill
choosing me.
and Jill and anyone also wanting to expand their business or not quite sure what to do with their business, or there's another level. Emily is like, you're epic. Like her business acumen, it's yes, and the Akash for business as well.
Mhm.
But the way that Emily can just knock things out and tell you exactly how to set it up and give you the step by step. And if you take action, you will see, and something will awaken within you as well. And that action taken ability that becomes available. It's that 30-minute session. Think of it as an business investment that is going to pay off tenfold, at least if you listen and follow. Highly, highly recommend it.
I hear you, and I will book. I'm looking forward to this special offer. Thank you again.
Amazing. All right, Jill. Blessings to you. Thank you.
We'll have. I geek out on business. I love that. Yes.
Can you tell I'm an Emily fan? Can you tell? Just a little. All right, Aparajita, welcome. Aparajita.
Yeah, you got it
I
right.
want to go Hispanic on you. I know.
No, I'm Indian.
I know, I got that.
Thank you. Hi, Emily. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Um,
You.
I just want to be quick. Like, I just want to get some insight into where am I heading to, like both my personal life as well as my professional life. I'm just in a place where I'm absolutely transforming, and I'm okay with it. It was hard, but I just want to feel okay
Yeah.
that
Okay.
if I'm on the right path or not. That's it.
I do feel like you're on the right path, and I can feel the challenge of the path of what you've been through and the deconstruction of everything that's happening. You are a leader, you are a light worker, you are a guide, you are a pioneer. So, we got some political stuff happening here in America, and it's looking like it's going to happen. I mean, in whether it's the micro or the macro, there's a dismantling of the old that has to happen, and then a recreation, a recalibration of the new. And you are a forerunner, a pioneer in that the rest of humanity, like we know it's coming, but it's not necessarily happening in the ways that, like we're in the crux of it like you are in your personal life right now. I feel like, I don't know if I'm making a sense here. All right. So leadership means I go first. That's one of my definitions of leadership. And as a cosmic light worker leader, Aparajita, you are going through this before the rest of humanity actually goes through it so that you can heal, understand, reflect, gain power. I mean, anytime, and that's what, when you study the greater biology of the planet, anytime that there has been any kind of a disaster or a malady that comes along, planet Earth, the divine design is that we're stronger on the other side of that.
Mm-hmm.
So remembering that that's what's being calibrated in you right now. Also, you have powerful choice right now. You get to choose whatever the new earth looks like, whatever your new earth looks like for your personal life, for your business. It gets to be whatever you want it to look like. So the time spent really connecting with, what do I want? What would make me the happiest? Not what would I be willing to settle for, but what would make me the happiest, right? And giving yourself permission to be in that state of joy and expansiveness, which can be challenging when we've just gone through a lot of trauma and recreation of things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, playfulness too. So
Thank
sometimes,
you. I was getting so strongly.
The playfulness.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like get out and play. Like literally go to the jungle gym where kids, and because it's going to open up things within you and help release some of the density. And you want to have access to your full creative excitement vision when you don't want to be held back by some of the old stuff that's hanging in your field.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. I get that. Thank you.
There you see that smile. That smile, that just amplifies something else. Do you know, and I just want to reflect back to you. Do you know how much more accessible you became when you smiled just a little bit?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, so wonderful. What a gift. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Okay, let's continue. Sonia, welcome to the call.
Hi, John.
Hello.
And hi, Millie. Thanks for calling on me. Yes, it's a question I've asked often, and I still seem to be going around in circles regarding my project that I began 10 years ago, a Dynamite project. And I've asked the question many times, but it's just sort of just changes form because I might. It's a large project, massive, and I've been very prolific in the writing and putting it down on paper. But when it comes to bringing out products or services, I never know which one, what to start with. And then I kind of, for some reason, hijack it, or something happens where I might have a hiccup and I'll lose excitement about it. Yeah, so maybe with the what am I missing? What's the blocks, or is there anything in my Akashic records that can enlighten
Yep. I
me?
feel it coming in, Miss Sonia. Okay. So first of all, just acknowledging this can be really challenging, especially when we're very prolific and active in our upper chakras. We're very galactic. We wonder what the heck we even doing on this planet anyway. Those kinds of us, it can be really challenging to take those big, epic, prolific ideas and get them into embodiment and into physicality on the planet before the field shifts and changes, right? Because it's shifting and changing, and we've got so much inspiration. If we don't grab on something and take action on it, like John was saying, taking sacred action, the field shifts and changes, and there's something new available, and then we're just overwhelmed. All right. So it's recognizing that that's a gap for people like you and us. Like I mean, I'm learning to embody my lower chakras here in the planet more, but I like to stay up in those higher frequencies as well. So do the energetic work on the lower chakras. That's the root, the sacral, and solar plexus. Those lower three are the ones that govern our experience here on the physical planet. Heart's the bridge, and then our uppers are connected into the galactic. So if you find it that it's challenging to take action, do the work on an energetic level in those chakras. Okay. For anybody who has a business that is under $1 million, pick one product. You don't have to do this. I break the rules a little bit too every now and then, but I'm telling you what the rules are. And like John said, I have geeked out on this and studied it so much, not only from the 3D perspective, but from, getting information from the galactics and my guides as well. But if you have a business under $1 million, pick one product, one singular one. Pick one platform. So either Facebook or Instagram. Pick one thing that you can focus on and focus all of your energy through. Okay. And if you'll do that, things will start to expand really quickly. They will start to embody. You'll start to consecrate in this one area, this one thing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't use all of your other gifts with people. Like I've narrowed it down to the Akashic records. It's going to be the Akashic records. If this is the one thing, yet there's so much else that's accessible through that. But if I'm talking about, hey, the 7 stages of alchemy, or the 7 hermetic principles, or talking about creating new energy, I'm talking about all these different things. It starts to confuse people along the way. So we keep it just about the Akashic records. So pick one thing. Doesn't mean that you can't access your other gifts and skills, but pick one thing and zero in on one thing and then go. And then watch what happens, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right,
Thanks
Sonia,
very
thank you for coming
much.
on. Blessings on your project. And for
Thank
you
you.
as well. Yes. Thank you. Okay, let's go now to, where'd you go? Minnie, welcome to the call. And Minnie, if I may I ask you to unmute your microphone, please? There you go. Hi.
Okay, so I'm meeting Emily for the first time. So she just hit what I wanted to ask my question on, that rather than focus on so many different things, to choose one. So I've been told that I'm supposed to be a healer like almost 6 years ago, and I still haven't started training on anything. And I'd like to know, what is my one thing, is there one thing I'm supposed to focus on, to train on, to become a healer? And when is that timing? Should I start now? Should I wait until next year? That's what
Well,
I'm lost.
the answer always now, when if there's ever a time of when I need to start something and you're asking yourself, now's the only moment of present power that we have. So it's kind of a default choice. That's an easy one. It's always now, right? In order to heal others, and you're really holding space for other people to heal. That's what it means to be a healer, to heal others. We don't want to take on that karmic responsibility, and we can't really heal anybody else. But if we do our own work and we heal ourselves, then we can hold the space for other people to heal as well, right? And we can help hold that transmission. Now, the Akashic records can definitely help you with figuring out how to become a healer. I don't want to go into a pitch for the Akashic records. The guides really want to stay with what you do right now with in terms of your own healing. Okay. And yes, there are a lot of different modalities, like from Reiki to theta healing to all of these different ways that we can do it. You can also make up the medicine within you, right? You can tune in and say, all right, what's coming up in me to be healed? And if I were the person in charge of figuring out how to heal it, how would I say to heal it? Right? So begin to check in with your own innate, because that's yes, there are techniques and there's mastery that we can learn, but the bigger thing that's happening here on the planet is an awakening into self-leadership, into opening. There is a teacher inside of you, Minnie, that knows exactly how to do all of these things. And if you find someone who tells you and fills in those gaps before you ask yourself those things, you might just default to, because that's what humans tend to do, right? So I would encourage you to play with your own innate and let it be fun, playful, a game. Who cares if it's right or not? You're just playing. Does that make sense?
It makes sense in some aspects. Yes, because I've done so many different different modalities that I'm unsure where is my niche. So I really liked the past life regression, and I found that it helped me a lot. I did like 2 sessions on that, and I was wondering if that was my niche to focus on and train in.
Yes, so I would say yes, and I heard a teacher say this one time too, and it was so powerful and simple. So if you are undergoing the process of shedding old identity and saying, okay, I am psychic. Okay, I am a healer. Okay, I'm learning about this. You'll notice that your vocabulary will it'll reveal where you're second guessing yourself. Well, I was wondering if maybe I should do the past life. This wisdom I said, just do a take 2 without the wishy-washy in there, and do the same thing, the same take without the wishy-washy. I feel the past life is my way to go.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Sounds good. And I would encourage you to, is there something and you don't have to share it with us here, but is there something in your everyday life right now that you would like to heal or shift or have a different, higher vibrational experience around? Maybe money, maybe a relationship with somebody, maybe a health thing. You something?
Well, it's so funny that we just did a bit of a move. So my house in New Jersey just got sold last week, and I moved my kids to Toronto. We're dual citizens of Canada and the US. Didn't really like where the politics was going in the US for a while now. So when my kids didn't have a very good first year in middle school, I decided that maybe the next school year it's time, when we did the move and we make the change. So I'm pretty well like holding down the fort by myself with twin girls who are going on 13 and a dog. And I had a fractured foot in August. So it's been a lot of upheaval.
I feel you. I'm a single mom too, and business owner, and I have pets, and I just moved. So there are lots of synchronicity here. one of my biggest challenges and one of the stories that's deeply shadowed within me that I'm working on is feeling like I need to do everything myself. So it sounds like you might have a similar, like you trust yourself to get it done, right? But
Yes.
then you feel all the weight of it. I might encourage you to go into a past life and see where you took on this belief system around feeling like you had to do it all yourself, and then ask in that moment what you can do to heal it. Cool?
Sounds
Yes.
good.
Blessings to you, Minnie. Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you. Thank you so much.
And I would recommend a deep dive with Emily with the special offer. I'm not trying to sell, I'm trying to facilitate, truly, of what's possible, because the insights that Emily can tap into. And it's those things we think we're doing it alone, but the Akash is one of those examples of just how much support that has been laid out for us, and that we've laid out ourselves in advance of the support that we knew that we were going to need. So
I never
amazing.
thought about that, John. You just blew my mind. Wow.
How so?
Well, I guess I just had never, yeah, we did this. We
Yeah.
laid this out for ourselves to be here for us during this time.
Ooh, chills again.
I know. It's fun to
Yeah,
think about
yeah.
that. I love that.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, the link for the special offers in the chat box. Of course, we're going to run the replay, all week long, weekend long. Come back in and tune into this amazing call today, Emily. This has been phenomenal. I'm curious if there's a collective Akash that we hear on the call and listening to the replay are tuned into, and perhaps if there's anything that wants to be shared from there
Okay, let me tap in.
as we end the call today.
Remind me to close the records for us too before we go.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I can
Thank you.
forget. I can
Mhm.
forget that. Yeah, something that's available right now and that humanity really needs is compassion, Christ consciousness energy, being kind. And I even noticed myself um, in a new aspect of the business right now. We're running ads and we're getting a ton of people answering the ads. And some of the people are inappropriate. And some of the people, my judgment comes up and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, Emily, what are you doing? Hang on a second here. And so I'm noticing myself as I'm going through this. And I'm like, no, your job is to show up and meet every single person in a space where you are ready to give this transmission with no judgment, just as much kindness as possible. Because some people will go into their story about X, Y, and I'm just like, no, meet them in compassion. This person needs another human to witness them right now. And so I'm noticing that I'm being called into that, where my judgment would even block me from being able to show up for other people like that. And I'm like, oh, we're getting good. That's what humanity needs. Like, you got to get into the grit of where your resistances are and melt them down. So that level of kindness, be a transmission of that level of kindness and humanity to everyone. You're going to need to receive that too. I'm also noticing that I'm working through some of my shadow. I've got a lot of failure perspective coming up. I've got a lot of unworthiness stuff coming up that makes me want to just shun myself from the group and stay over here in my lonely pity party, right? No, I need to ask for humanity and compassion. You need to ask for this. And this is how we're going to create it too. It's not just going to be magically stardust all of a sudden where all this is what it looks like to create it. You got to go out of your comfort zone. All right. If you do this, this will raise your vibrational frequency so much that the power, the new skills and the things that become unleashed in you, your power to hold vision will expand rapidly just by being kind. Be kind to other people and ask for what it is that you need in support. Okay?
Beautiful. Thank you, Emily. And let's go ahead and close the records now.
All right, everybody. So bring those hands together in prayer pose. Slight pressure against the left and right palm. This is going to create a balance in your brain, the hemispheres, left and right hemispheres of the brain, so that you can integrate all of the information that came in. Also, you want your thumbs touching each other in the heart, completing this circuitry. We give thanks for all knowledge and healing that comes forward in this space and acknowledge the frequency of oneness. That means any aha moments that we've had tonight become available to the collective when we acknowledge the frequency of oneness. And with one final Om, closing the Akashic records. The records are now closed.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you so much, John. Thank you for bringing me into.
Oh my God, let's play more. Let's play more.
Yes, I look forward to
all
it.
of us.
We
Let's
will.
play more. Thank you all for being on the call today. Thank you for adding your energy. Thank you all for listening to the replay. Thank you for your being. Thank you for who you're choosing to become. And just thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Love you guys. Love you, Emily. I'll see you all soon.
Love you all. Bye, guys.